Will applying for business credit hurt your credit score? A lot of people don't want to apply for business credit because they are afraid that it actually might hurt their personal credit score. And a lot of times you might have seen online people saying that you can apply without it hurting your personal credit score at all. And in some instances, that sounds too good to be true. So I'm going to explain all of the different aspects that you need to look at to determine if it is going to actually hurt your credit score or affect your credit score in some way when you are applying for business credit. So you'll know everything that will and will not affect your credit. Because if you got your score up there pretty high, you probably don't want anything to mess that up, right? So you're probably really careful with your credit. So this is going to be very important for you guys. So the first thing you need to know is the difference between a hard pull and a soft pull. And this is something you might have already heard about before, but just for those of you that don't already know about this particular part, if you see something saying that it is going to be a soft pull or, maybe a pre-qualification, something like that, usually you're going to hear soft pull though, that means that it's not actually going to affect your credit score. It does mean that the bank is about to check your credit, so they will get to see what is on a particular credit bureau that they pull, but it won't affect your credit score in a negative way, and you also won't see an inquiry from that soft pull. Now, this is the opposite of a hard pull, which means that they are actually going to generate a inquiry on your credit report, and as you know, those inquiries can affect your personal credit score, but usually it's not going to be by very much. It might be, a few points, maybe 2 to 5 points at most or at best on average, but it will still affect your credit score in that way. And also the inquiries are showing other lenders that you apply for afterwards that you have applied for credit. And the more inquiries you have in a shorter time frame, even though they may not affect your score that much, if you have too many in a short recent time frame, it can affect your approval, even if your score is still very high. Now, some places that do soft pulls when you actually apply for business funding would be Amex, American Express. If you already have some type of relationship with them, with some other product that they have, then you can get a soft pull from Amex and it won't be a hard pull to get an approval or get a new account with them after that. Citizens Bank also does a soft pull, and also it's good to note that with some options, they might say that they'll do a soft pull initially, and then when you actually get an offer and accept the offer, then you might get a hard pull at that point. But it's still good to see if you have a good chance of getting approved. Now, another important thing to know about the inquiries is going to be that 6-month to 12-month time frame, right? So inquiries don't affect your score after 12 months. So after it's 12 months old, it will not affect your score, but it'll still be on your credit report. Now, that is just talking about how or if the inquiry is affecting your credit score, not your approval odds. You always want to look at this as a twofold thing. Is it affecting my score or is it affecting my approval odds? So when you're looking at the inquiries that are, still within the 12-month time frame, a lot of times people will go log into their credit monitor like the MyScore IQ or maybe Experian or something like that. They just look at the total number of inquiries that they see, and they say, oh, I have this many inquiries. I have, 12 inquiries or 10 inquiries over them that's showing up inside the overview of my inquiries. So I have too many inquiries. But you're not looking at the picture in the right way. What you should be looking at is the inquiries within the last 6 months. That's what's going to be a more determining factor on if you have too many inquiries that can affect your approval odds. Once the inquiries are past 6 months, they have a far lesser effect on your approval odds, and you can pretty much kind of ignore them in that range. And also keeping in mind, some banks are more sensitive about inquiries than others. Another thing to consider with if business funding or applying for business funding is going to hurt your score is a new account that you actually got approved for, and if it is reported to your personal credit or not. So if you do get approved for funding on a business credit card or something like that, and it is reported to your personal credit report, then that can affect the average age of accounts on your credit report, and it can also affect your utilization. If you get a credit card with Capital One, they report their credit cards to the personal credit, even though they are business credit cards. And so that makes them one of the places that if you get a new account with them, it can definitely affect your personal credit score by lowering the average age of accounts. And once you get to using that card, because it's being reported to your personal credit profile. When you start using that card, if it's in higher amounts and your utilization gets high, because that's easy to do while you're in business, then you can start to see that really affect your personal credit from obtaining this new business account. Now, still in regards to reporting, the accounts that you get that are usually personal guarantee and corporate credit, those accounts won't actually affect your personal credit score because most of the personal guarantee cards or business credit is not going to be reported to your personal credit. So therefore, it will not affect your personal credit at all. And with corporate credit, we know that is solely tied to a business's credit report and credit score. So basically, you don't have to worry about those accounts affecting your personal credit at all in any way. So knowing if the business credit that you apply for is going to actually affect your credit score is just one piece of the puzzle because there are different types of ways for you to actually get funding for your business. If you want to know what those different ways are that you can actually get money for your business, then go ahead and check out this video right here. And if you want to know how old your business has to be to actually get funding, then go ahead and check out this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one.